Welcome. This is Art for All People. This is Lisa.
And Jaylani.
We are here at the IGM Gallery at this amazing exhibition that we curated called
Bridge to the Soul, The Art of Healing.
And we are with the director, Lynn Crandall, and we've had such an amazing experience with her. We want to hear her voice and share her vision. So Lynn, tell us about yourself.
That's a great question.
Tell us about yourself, then the gallery, and how did it all begin?
Well, I'm just a public high school English teacher, and I have been interested my whole life in understanding what motivates people to work together, to be creative, to live their life from start to finish, reaching their full potential.
Beautiful. So how did this all happen, this amazing space that you created?
Well, I was invited in by Dr. Larry Kettis about the year 2000 when the space had just been completed, and he was a Renaissance thinker, and he wanted to meld the ideas of science and art and create a creative, inspiring atmosphere for the scientists to walk through the space.
2000, that was really cutting edge at that time, because this is basically alternative art space.
Well, it's an art in the workplace, and I had run them in the past when I was director of the Reardon Leadership Development Program at the Junior Chamber of Commerce. We had many art shows there, and we collaborated them with the business people coming into the workplace. So when Dr. Kettis saw that, he thought it was a good idea for scientists to do it as well.
So in a way, you wanted to create art installations to inspire scientists and clinical doctors?
Well, yes, I definitely wanted to inspire creativity and get the conversations going. But I was also very interested in creating bridges between this health science campus and our humanities campus, because as science gets more and more technological and deeper into molecular studies and stem cell research, sometimes the common man can't keep up with the complexity of all of that, and I really wanted to create a way that we can have forums and events, workshops, and bring many different points of view to the complex, holistic approach to healing.
Can you give us an example of one of the exhibitions that this is happening? And has a scientist come up to you and, made some comments or give you some information about how this affects their workplace?
Well, sure, I could give you a lot of them from our exhibition called Pattern Formation, where we had scientists looking or taking photographs of what they saw under the microscope as well as what they saw in landscape. And then we had another photographer who did computer generated photographs that deconstructed social buildings and showed the connection between systemic social order. And out of that conversation came a wonderful connection between artists, scientists, architecture, and social order. But we're right here in the middle of a very exciting show that's generating all kinds of collaboration with people from the community, our school district, scientists, the School of Education, our School of Social Work, Marshall School of Business. Just, it's a very holistic gathering in this Bridge to the Soul, the Art of Healing exhibition.
Beautiful. What's your ultimate goal with the gallery, with the IGM gallery? What's the future?
Well, the beginning goal is sort of the ending goal. The whole complex goal is just to bring together public, private, nonprofit, faith-based, academic, and media leaders together to bring their diverse points of view directed at single challenges. For example, Obamacare, because it involves technology, it involves communities coming together. So my goal is community capacity building through open-minded discussions in forums and symposium where all voices are heard, and problem-solving activities result.
Was there one moment, a story that you can tell us where all those goals were met in an exhibition? Or is it a work in progress?
Well, again, the pattern formation exhibition and the Aging People, Aging Planet exhibition, and Soft Machine, every one of them, we're looking at social order from the point of view of artists and the intense focus they have on specific human and social needs that they present in their art, and how that relates systemically or in the same systemic process seems to apply to the research that our bench scientists are doing in molecular systemic order.
Wonderful.
And we're all beginning to see that by being stewards of self, others, and the planet, we can create a holistic approach that does ensure stronger health and stronger social order and a bright future for everyone.
Wonderful.
It's beautiful. So what we are talking about here is almost art as a modality of healing and transformation. How do you see art as a bridge to the soul? How is it?
Well, I'd like to quote Confucius, if I may, who said, "A picture is worth 1,000 words." And I think when a person walks in and gets the full impact at once from seeing it, feeling the work in the atmosphere, for example, this show where you have 25 artists, each one coming into one space with each of their diverse attitudes, you're getting a conversation between the art pieces, you're getting a conversation between the viewers, and not a word is spoken. You can read the text on the walls and some explanations and even links to technology here, but you get that impact from art in a way that you just can't get from words.
I agree.
We all agree.
So let's talk about our collaboration with Art for All People. I think it's wonderful. And let's just how did it how did it all happen and manifest? It seemed like it was almost fate.
So you want to talk about how we got together?
Exactly. That's what I wanted to talk about.
Okay, that was certainly fate. I had planned another exhibition with an artist who suddenly had a family problem, and I just sent my word out to other artists and people, and Larisa Polinsky was right there, and she and I had done the Broken Eggs exhibitions. We did 2 exhibitions over 2 4-month exhibitions, and she knew you and thought that just the feeling that she had of working with you and the intense time that and focused time that we had together on her show, she just knew automatically that we would get on. And the minute I saw your mission and your website and we started talking, it was clear that we were going to be able to work together compatibly.
Yeah, it's been a wonderful, wonderful process. It really has.
So we're here, which is beautiful, in your space. Do you have any great stories from the people here, like the everyone in the space? This is basically a laboratory, right? People like scientists doing research that you can share with us.
Again, that's a really big question.
It is.
And there's many wonderful stories. One exciting one that came out of my collaboration with Dr. Cheng-Yu Chong is the way that he explained to me that stem cell studies have shown him that the stem cells have clusters of starter cells that aren't identified yet. And for example, in the case of an alligator, or I think it's alligator, that where they acquire their food by biting it with their teeth, and they lose a lot of teeth. So evolution has created a way that when an older tooth is broken off, there's a tooth right behind it that replaces it, and behind that is a tiny little node of stem cells that immediately, from the need of the atmosphere around them, begin to generate another tooth. And as Dr. Chong explained, and we all know, our own teeth, we only have two chances, the baby teeth and the adult teeth, and then we don't produce any more. But imagine if stem cells could be preserved and then injected into a football player, a boxer, anybody in an automobile accident could have a tooth replaced by their own body, having the right stem cells, and the body will give the message through the whole piece. The other, if I could have another story.
Yeah.
Because there are so many, but my interns that are working, I shouldn't say the gallery's interns that are working here, have been asked by their English teachers to write papers and work with transition words and show how ideas are generated. And so several of them have been working on impacts of the art on their self-understanding. And one of the interns had walked into the soft machine show, and this whole wall behind you over here had hexagonal elements, each one done by a different artist, and then they were placed on the wall in the same pattern that a stem cell division would be on the wall. And when the student walked in, she was taken aback by how many enormously diverse pieces put together into one pattern created a whole greater than the sum of the parts, and she realized at that moment that she was just one hexagon in a collective of others, and that working with her fellows, she could play her role in keeping her part of the pattern so that the whole thing would be linked together like a honeycomb, the hexagons of the honeycomb.
Wonderful.
And that goes along with Dr. Chong's
I remember.
idea.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's perception. It's also reality that this is. This is like a living, breathing art gallery. I think what's really cool about it, it's not passive. And I'm interested in like the daily. I think we were at a meeting and some gentleman said, "It's my sanity." So was it Baruch? He said.
Baruch Frankel.
He said he comes to get the space to gain sanity. I mean, that's amazing.
The best testimony for our exhibition.
Well, it's a break because they're looking at their computers the whole time and they're thinking about very, very focused ideas. And there's pressure behind it because they have to write grants, they have to bring in the money, or they can't keep their labs running. And sometimes it gets to be a lot. So they step out here and I see them talking to each other. And it's just a joy to see an older scientist talking with some of the younger technicians, and they're looking at the artwork and figuring out what it means, and just talking about the color and their feelings and the meaning of the work, and seeing the links between the art and science. So that's really exciting.
That's
part of the
amazing.
show.
Yeah, I find that the most fascinating. Like, how does it affect everybody's daily life? You know, and sometimes they don't know it affects them. Like, I think just even running in this space, you change, your energy shifts.
Right. They tell me that all the time. And many of them are saying, I was walking through the space and I was really thinking about my microscope and what was going on underneath it, and I saw an artwork and it made me think something else.
Yes, inspiration.
That was an amazing moment.
That's amazing.
And well, as you can see, this is definitely an art and workplace, and people.
I know, they're walking by.
by.
Let's do this. Let's interact with the art. Let's, get your take on the artists and everything. We're gonna walk around.
Okay, well, if I could.
Yeah.
I just want to take 1 minute, and then I have a meeting I have to get to. This is really working.
All right, super. Just go through it and.
Well, actually, this piece right here, I think you can see that this is an artist who's looking trying to envision the inside of his own body as he suffers from Crohn's disease. And he takes what he thinks it looks like inside and adds his feelings to it and creates a painting of his own internal physical workings. And that is in conversation with this piece over
That's
here.
Daniel Langton, and this is Michael Aubrey.
Yes, Michael. I thought it was Mikhail.
We did two until last month.
Yeah. So
Michael.
this one, he's depicting the spiritual feeling and the kind of universal and systemic connectedness of himself to something larger and greater. And I think that that is just a conversation that you can see between two artists, one looking at his mind, soul, and spirit, and another one looking at his physical pain.
That's
and
amazing.
how to deal with it.
Because as curators, that's what we wanted to do, is have conversations
Have a
between
dialogue.
the pieces. The dialogue between the artwork, between you, between the viewer, between the artist, between the world. So that's amazing. So let's just end this interview with, what do you see for the future of this gallery?
Well, actually, my next meeting is right over here.
All right, that's the
And
future.
that's with Cantilia Avila, and she's with the Institute for Integrative Health. And what we see is many, many more people beginning to grasp the importance of a holistic approach to health. If our communities are healthy, if our people are positive thinking and they're looking forward to a bright future and they're mindful about caring for their own health, the health of others, and together they work on the health of the planet, I think that we are going to accomplish the mission of this gallery.
Well, thank you, Lynn, for
Thank
everything.
you,
We're really
Lynn.
happy to be part of
Thank you
this.
so much.